Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 21st and 22nd of March 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch the video till last, but I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share as maximum as possible because we need your support, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. So guys, you can download our application that named as Careers Cloud, and you can download from the description box. We put a downloading link in the description box. By this link, you can download in very simple way. So after downloading, you can see this is the first window and you can log in by your email ID from our application that is Careers Cloud. And guys, after login, this window will appear, and from the first section, by clicking on this section, you will get the subscription. You can subscribe 1 year subscription as well as 2 year subscription. But first of all, what we are providing under the subscription, we are providing daily current affair. In the daily current affair section, we are providing three type of the sections. One is related to the theoretical and detailed current affairs of particular day, and this will be provided in the PDF format. Next is the question and answer PDF. It means it is also related to the particular day and it is also provided in the format of PDF. But next is the quiz section. It means you can test that how much current affair you can retain of particular day. Same thing will be provided under the weekly section. It means one PDF is related to a theoretical and detailed current affair of particular week, and next PDF is related to the question and answer format of the current affair of particular week, and third section is related to the quiz of particular week. It means you can test that how many current affair you can revise and retain for long time period for particular week. Next is the most important section is the monthly PDF section, because we are providing so many PDFs according to your convenience. Like first is the study PDF. It means under this PDF we are providing detailed and theoretical current affair of particular month. Next, to revise this current affair, we are providing question and answer PDF of particular month. It means you can revise all the current affairs in the format of question and answer. Next is top 100 current affair. It means the best 100 current affair of particular month will be provided to you. That is also provided in the format of question and answer so that you can revise again and again. Next is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair very quickly before your exam, because these current affairs are provided in 2 or 3 lines in the theoretical format so that you can revise again. So these things are provided like daily, weekly and the monthly basis so that your current affair section will become strong. But we are also providing so many PDFs according to your exam, or you can say the according to your convenience. Like one is the topic wise current affair. This is very important section because some exams need to revise the only appointments and the sports current affair. Some exams need to revise the application and web portal. So we are providing 20 type of the PDFs like apps and web portals of January and February, important days of 2021, books and authors of 2021, national current affair of 2021, international current affair of 2021. So these all type of the topic PDFs will be provided to you so that you can revise the current affair on topic wise, and these are 20 type of the PDFs. Next, for the banking aspirants, we are providing specially the banking current affair, and it is provided under the 2 sections. One is the banking and economy PDF, like it is provided in the question and answer format, and it is also in the PDF format, but it is also tested in the quiz mode so that you can test that how much current affair you can retain. We are also providing exam PDF. It is very useful for any type of the exam, and it is also in the PDF format. Special current affair we are providing like budget and economic survey. 2 type of the PDFs you will get under this budget and economic survey section. Like one is the detailed PDF of the budget section. Next is the most important questions and answers related to the budget and economic survey. We are also providing the state current affair. Every state and the UT is covered under this section, and these current affairs are provided in Hindi as well as in English. It means all these current affairs like daily, weekly, monthly, banking, topic or state current affairs are provided in Hindi as well as in English. So guys, hurry and download this application, and by downloading this application, log in with your email and you can get the 1 year subscription. It means you can get the 2021 subscription as well as 2022 subscription. It means you can get the 1 year subscription as well as 2 year subscription. Both the prices of this subscription are very much low, but on that minimal price we are providing 10% extra discount. How you can avail? If you use this code ASH10, then you will get 10% extra discount on that minimal price. So let's start today's current affair, that is 21st and 22nd of March 2021. But I am requesting you again that you have to like this video, you have to subscribe this channel, and you have to share this video as maximum as possible because we need your support. So let's start first section, that is the most important question section. Here is our first question. What is the rank of India in the United Nations World Happiness Report 2021? So 2 or 3 things are very important under this question. One, this report is released by which organization? This is by obvious that this is a United Nations organization, but which organization of United Nations released this report? And guys, second thing, which country topped under this index? This is important. Which country is least in the number in this index, and what is the India's rank? So these things you have to remember. First of all, let's see that what is the rank of India. India's rank is 139. So India's rank is very much poor. Out of 149 countries, India rank is 139th rank. So guys, remember, and you can also remember the least rank is Afghanistan. It means the least happy country is Afghanistan, and the most happiest country of the world is, yes guys, you can see here that most happiest country is Finland. So this is the very important things which we are covering. Like Finland topped this index, Afghanistan is the least in this index, like 149th number goes to Afghanistan, and India's rank is 139th. And this report is released by United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. Where is the headquarter of this organization? Headquarter of this United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network is in New York, you can say the Paris and the Kuala Lumpur. It means 3 secretariat comes under the United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. One is the New York in United States of America, Paris is in France, and Malaysia is in or Kuala Lumpur is in Malaysia. So you can see here Finland topped this index and India ranked 139 out of 149. And you can also see here it is released by United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. And which country topped is the Finland, and Finland tops for the 4th time. Second rank goes to the Denmark, and third is Switzerland. And guys, the least happiest countries were Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, and Rwanda, but you have to only remember the Afghanistan. Apart from the Afghanistan, all neighboring countries ranked higher than India. It means all the neighboring countries of India are happy than India. So this is the important thing, except Afghanistan. Because in this index, Pakistan ranked 105, that is more than India. Bangladesh, you can say 101th rank, that is again more than India. China is very much happy than India. In China's rank is 84th, and guys, Sri Lanka rank is 129. So these are the very important countries, neighboring countries of India. Pakistan 105, Bangladesh 101, China 84th, and Sri Lanka 129th. So despite being one of the richest country in the world, United States has also ranked far below, like 19th rank. So you can guess that this report is based on so many things, but you don't have to remember that how many things on which this report is based, but just remember the India's rank is 139 out of 149 countries. Guys, you can see the other options also, like 131st rank, that is again very important. This rank is gained by India in the HDI report, Human Development Index report. It is released by United Nations Development Program. First of all, let's rub this. 131st rank of India is in HDI index, remember this. And 121st rank, that is in Economic Freedom Index of 2021. And which country topped under this index? Singapore is topped under this index. And next is 85th rank. 85th rank is Henley Passport Index. Remember Henley Passport Index. And India's rank is 85th. And which country topped under this index is Japan. And next is 131st rank. 131st is Human Development Index. It is released by United Nations Development Program. And which country topped under this index is Norway. And 139th, you all know, Happiness Report Index. And which country topped under this index? Finland topped under this index. So these things you have to remember, guys, because we are covering all things from the options. So now we are moving to the next question. We covered all the very important things. Next is the Power Minister R.K. Singh launched Gram Ujala. In which state? This is the first carbon credits program in India. So mark this question in the most important question section, because the traditional bulbs will be replaced with the LED bulbs, and this state government is Bihar. And this scheme is started in the Bihar, but you have to remember, just name the Gram Ujala. And this is started by a Power Minister R.K. Singh, and it is the first carbon credit program in India. So why this scheme is a requirement? So guys, already LED bulbs are provided at a discounted rate, but so much rural population of India was still unable to afford this discounted LEDs. So that's why Gram Ujala scheme was launched, so that they can afford these LED at very minimal rate, at 10 rupees only per LED bulb, by replacing the traditional bulbs. So this is very important. So this state is Bihar. So you can see here, Power and Renew and Renewable Energy Minister RK Singh launched program Gram Ujala in Bihar. So you can also see here, under the program 1.5 crore LED will be distributed, and with 3 years of warranty will be given to rural customers on submission of working condition conventional bulbs. It means you have to just give the conventional bulbs, and by replacing this, government will provide you LED, and maximum up to one household can take 5 LEDs, and LED capacity is 7 watt or the 12 watts, and will be available at the INR 10 each for each household. It means maximum to maximum you can buy 5 LEDs by giving the traditional bulbs in working condition. It means maximum to maximum a family can give 50 rupees so that they can get the 5 LEDs. The scheme was unveiled or launched by the Convergence Energy Services Limited. I think you are listening this organization first time, but I am telling you this scheme was launched by this organization. It is a fully owned subsidiary of Energy Efficiency Services Limited. So remember this. And carbon credit refers to the carbon offset as a financial tool to reduce carbon emission by storing carbons for the future or the later use. And in simple word, you can say we are using the Sustainable Development Program, so that we can use this carbon for the future generation. We can store this carbon for the future generation. So under the first phase of the program, it will be implemented across the villages of 5 states. First, you can see here the village name is the Ara. Ara is in Bihar. So first state is Bihar. Next state you can see here Varanasi. Varanasi is in Uttar Pradesh. Next is the Vijayawada. Vijayawada is in Andhra Pradesh. Next is Nagpur. Nagpur is in Maharashtra. And last state is the Gujarat, like western Gujarat villages. So these 5 states will be covered in the first phase, like Gujarat, Bihar, UP, Andhra and the Maharashtra. After that, it will be covered under the all pan India. So guys, remember, it will help the individual to adopt a more concentrated and disciplined approach to reduce their carbon footprints. So this is a new type of scheme that is known as the Gram Ujala. Already the government started the Ujala like Unnat Jyoti by affordable lighting for all scheme in 2014. But under this, they were providing the 70 rupees per LED bulb. But under this Gram Ujala, they are providing more affordable, like 10 rupees per LED. So this is the main initiative of the center government. And guys, remember about Convergence Energy Services Limited. This is the fully owned subsidiary of Energy Efficiency Services Limited. Now we can move to the next question. Which Indian actor received the FIAF Award 2021 by the International Federation of Film Archives? So what is the meaning of FIAF? In French, it is known as Fédération Internationale des Archives or the Archives du Film. So it is known as the FIAF, or you can say the International Federation of Film Archives. And this Indian actor is Amitabh Bachchan. So remember, the most renowned personality of the Bollywood, that is Amitabh Bachchan. So you can see here FIAF Film Heritage Foundation and FIAF Prix Award Primo 2021 FIAF Award Amitabh Bachchan to be honored with the prestigious 2021 FIAF Award by Martin Scorsese and the Christopher Nolan. But this is not to remember that who awarded this award to the Amitabh Bachchan, but you have to remember just the name of the organization. Name of the organization is International Federation of the Film Archives. And guys, remember, Amitabh Bachchan became the first Indian to receive this award. So guys, you have to remember there is a one organization of FIAF which is known as the Film Heritage Foundation. And this veteran Indian actor Amitabh Bachchan became the brand ambassador of Film Heritage Foundation in 2015. So that's why Film Heritage Foundation nominated Amitabh Bachchan for this award. And working with the Film Heritage Foundation, he has contributed to the preservation of the Indian film heritage. So that's why he received this award that is known as the FIAF award. So this is the most important question you have to remember. And remember, Amitabh Bachchan became the first Indian to receive this award, and he was nominated by FEF, Affiliate Film Heritage Foundation. This is the foundation of FEF, and Amitabh Bachchan became the brand ambassador of this Heritage Foundation in 2015. So that's why he worked for the contribution to the preservation of the Indian film heritage. So that's why he received this award. So this award recognized the contribution of the individual towards preserving the world film heritage for the pleasure of the today's audience as the benefit of the future generation. That's why Amitabh Bachchan is known by the 5-year-old child, is known by the 25-year-old boy, or the 35-year-old man, or you can say the 60-year-old man also. So that's why it is for the future generation as well as the old generation. So where is the headquarter of FIAF? Headquarter is in the Brussels, Belgium. So guys, you can just remember this organization and the award winner. Now we are moving to the next question. Who became the first serving member of parliament to be appointed captain in the territorial army? So this is very important. First of all, you should know about this territorial army. Territorial army is the second line of defense in the hierarchy, which comprises volunteers who are imparted military training for about a month in a year. So it means at least 1 month of training in a year on the voluntary basis as a military training. So you have to remember this. And this member of parliament is Anurag Thakur. So very common name. He is currently appointed as the Minister of State for Finance and the Corporate Affairs. And Anurag Thakur has become the first serving member of parliament to be appointed as the captain in the territorial army. And he is basically the fourth time MP from Himachal Pradesh. From which state? Himachal Pradesh, and his constituency is Hamirpur. He joined, or he was commissioned into the territorial army as a lieutenant or the lieutenant in 2016. And now he was elevated to the captain rank, and guys, remember, it is Anurag Thakur. So you can see here, Minister of State for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Anurag Thakur has become the first serving member of parliament to be appointed as captain of the territorial army. And he was the fourth time BJP MP from the Himachal Pradesh. His constituency is Hamirpur. If it belongs to Himachal Pradesh, then it is important. And he was commissioned into the territorial army as a lieutenant in July 2016. Now he is elevated to the captain rank. And this territorial army means volunteers who are imparted military training for about a month in a year. Now we are moving to the next question, and it is most important question, that who won 2021 Vijay Hazare Trophy? Two things you have to remember, that who won and second is runner up. So these two things are very important in the Vijay Hazare. Many students ignored this trophy because this is the national trophy, but you have to remember this is the most important question. If you are preparing for the banking exam, this question can be asked. And this state is, guys, Mumbai. Mumbai won this Vijay Hazare Trophy against the last match against Uttar Pradesh. So remember, the runner-up is Uttar Pradesh, and who won Vijay Hazare Trophy is in Mumbai. And guys, remember, Prithvi Shaw became the first player to score 800 runs in a single edition. That is Prithvi Shaw, and he is also the captain of Mumbai team. Previously, this record was with Mayank Agarwal, highest runner in a full edition, that was 723 runs. But now this record was broken by the Prithvi Shaw, who was the captain of the Mumbai team. So you can also see here, Mumbai cricket team won this 2021 Vijay Hazare Trophy against the Uttar Pradesh, and the captain of Mumbai, Prithvi Shaw, became the first player to score 800 runs in a single edition. Previously, this record was with the Mayank Agarwal. Now we can move to the next question. Recently, inventor of the cassette tape passed away. Who was this person? So very important question, and you can say the most important, because we are talking about one inventor, and he was very famous inventor of the cassette tape. It was very famous because before the compact disc, or you can say before the pen drive era, we were using the cassette tapes, and so many students basically know about the cassette tapes. And who was the inventor of this cassette tape? So answer of this question is B. Lou Outen. So guys, remember, answer is Lou Outen, and he belongs to which country? Netherlands. Remember this. So you can see here, a Dutch inventor, Lou Outen, inventor of cassette tape, passed away at the age of 94. So he was one of the who invented the first cassette tape, and that was produced by the Philips in 1962. So you have to remember the year 1962. So these cassette tapes were a huge success worldwide with the 100 million sales, because before the compact disc we were using the cassette tapes, and it was very famous, like a black or brown color reel in the cassette tapes, and we were using the tape recorders for playing cassette tapes. The cassette tape was mostly used by the music lovers until it was replaced by the compact disc. After that, it is replaced by the pen drives. Now we are using the cloud performing system, because we are storing all things in the cloud and we can play anywhere. Lou Ottens also acted as the supervisor of the CD's development team, but you have to just remember the name of the country this person belongs to. So these two things are very important. Now we are moving to the next section, and it is the very important question section. But I am requesting you, all the students, that you have to like this video, you have to share as maximum as possible, you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. So first question in the very important section: the Airport Authority of India agreed to assist which country aviation regulator to enhance infrastructure? It means Airport Authority of India will provide skill to the manpower, and also provide or enhance the capacity, or you can say the increase the capacity. So this is very important, and this nation is, guys, Bangladesh, because in 2021 Bangladesh is celebrating the Swarnim Vijay Varsh. So remember, Swarnim Vijay Varsh. So this year celebrate as a 50 year of independence of Bangladesh, because Bangladesh got independence in 1971 from the Pakistan. So you can remember it is known as the Swarnim Vijay Varsh. And Airport Authority of India agreed to assist the Civil Aviation Authority of Bangladesh, the civil regulator of Bangladesh, to enhance its capacity in terms of infrastructure as well as the skilled manpower. So it means Airport Authority of India suggested providing customized courses to assist in the training progress. So you can see here, as on the 15th of March 2021, Airport Authority of India has agreed to provide any type of the help in the infrastructure and the skilled manpower to the Bangladesh Authority. And it is just to possible cooperation areas. The high level delegation of the Civil Aviation Authority of Bangladesh visited Airport Authority of India from 7 to 11th March 2021. Then this decision was taken by the Airport Authority of India, and Airport Authority of India will provide so many training courses so that the training progress can be achieved. And guys, who is currently the chairman of Airport Authority of India? Currently chairman of the Airport Authority of India is Anuj Agarwal. So remember, Anuj Agarwal. So this is currently the chairman of the Airport Authority of India. Now we are moving to the next question. Who addressed the third edition of the annual conference of International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure 2021, which is also known as ICDRI 2021, or you can say DRI 2021. Who addressed this? And answer of this question is Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You can see the picture, smiling picture of Narendra Modi, addressed International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. You can also see here, main objective is to strengthen the global discourses on disaster and climate resilient infrastructure. But this conference is not only addressed by Narendra Modi. It is addressed by so many prime ministers of famous countries like Narendra Modi from India, and Boris Johnson from the United Kingdom, Mario Draghi from the Italy. So you can just remember the prime minister names. It will enhance your knowledge like the prime ministers and the countries. So during this event, discussions were held on the sustainable development goals. Especially we have to achieve by the year of 2030, like 17 goals are there. Paris Agreement signed in 2015, so we have to focus on the Paris Agreement so that carbon emission can be reduced. And next is the Sendai framework for the disaster risk reduction by the year of 2030. So these Sendai framework is for the disaster risk reduction, and these also have to achieve by the year of 2030. So Prime Minister Modi stated that this CDRI must maximize the demonstration effect of the application of the technology. It means we can use the technology to reduce the risk of the disaster. So 27 members of the European Union, because earlier it was 28, but after the Britain exit, the total European Union members are 27. They also joined this CDRI. It means they also joined this organization, which is known as the Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in 2019 under the United Nations Climate Action Summit in September 2019. So it is an initiative of Modi ji so that we can tackle the disaster in very better way. So guys, remember its head office is in New Delhi and member countries are 22 and 6 international agencies. But this is updated till the 2nd of March 2021, because on the site of CDRI it is till on the 2nd of March. But you can update, like they can add the 22 countries to the 27 countries, or they can add the one agency like the European Union. So you have to just remember 22 countries or the 7 international agencies, because European Union added under this organization. So total countries are 22 and total international organizations are 7. So you have to remember this organization name, that is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, and the main aim of this organization is to promote research and knowledge sharing in the areas of infrastructure risk management, standards, financing and recovery mechanism. So India is the chairman of this organization, while the UK is the co-chairman of this organization. So remember this. Now we are moving to the next question. Government focus to develop and strengthens India's first on mobile application store. What is the name of this application store? It means Indian government is launching basically a first own mobile application store, because India is the largest user of mobile applications, and according to India's app market statistics report of 2021, around 5% of the application on Androids were developed by the Indian app developers. So if it is launched in the Indian mobile app store, then it will be very useful for Indian economy and very useful for the digital ecosystem of India. And this mobile application is Mobile Seva App Store. So guys, remember this first own mobile app store of India, that is Mobile Seva App Store. So you can see here, government keen to develop, strengthen own mobile app store, that is the Mobile Seva App Store. So you can see here, it is the first indigenously developed mobile app store, and it is a mobile application hosting platform owned by the government of India, and the government departments and developers can host their mobile application related to government and other public services on the Mobile Seva App Store. I earlier told that India is the largest user of the mobile application, and the digital app store for the government and the private app is a part of the India efforts toward the self-reliance or the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So in the absence of India's own app store, the dependence on the Google and the Apple Play stores for the digital services has affected the digital ecosystem of India. So that's why we need a own app store, that is known as Mobile Seva App Store. So this is very important to become the self-reliant in the digital ecosystem of India, because the verified and the signed APK files can be uploaded on the App Store free of cost, and these apps can be downloaded at free of cost. So this is the main initiative of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MEITY. So you can see here, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and who is the Union Minister? Union Minister is Ravi Shankar Prasad. And what is the name of the constituency of Ravi Shankar Prasad? Constituency is Patna Sahib. So very important question. Now we are moving to next question. United Nations International Day of Happiness annually observed across the globe on which day? Every day. In the last of the video, I told you that always be happy, because happiness is the key of success. Now we are celebrating the International Day of Happiness, and it is observed by the United Nations. In the today video, first question was also related with the happiness index, in which India's rank is 139th out of 149 countries. Now we are doing the happiness day. International Day of Happiness is basically celebrated on the 20th of March 2021. So it is dedicated to the importance of happiness in people's life, and the first International Day of Happiness was observed in 2013. Now we are celebrating in 2021. It means every year it is celebrated on the 20th of March. So what is the theme of this day? Theme is keep calm, stay wise, and be kind. So these three things you have to remember in your life. Keep calm, stay wise, and be kind. Your action should be speak. Always remember this. Keep calm, stay wise, be kind. Your actions should speak. You can see here International Day of Happiness, March 2021. So these things you have to remember, otherwise nothing important, but this day is very important for the United Nations General Assembly. Now we are moving to next question, but you can also remember that there is a World Happiness Week celebrations. World Happiness Week was celebrated on the 18th of March to 23rd of March. So you can also remember this. Now we are moving to the next. Again, there is a day that is known as the World Sparrow Day, is annually observed across the world on 20th of March. So again, one day is celebrated on the 20th of March, like International Day of Happiness on the Sparrows Day. What is the theme of this day? So theme is I love sparrows. So guys, remember, I love sparrows, and I am and I will is the theme of which day? It is theme of World Cancer Day. It is celebrated on the 4th of February. So remember, World Cancer Day theme is I am and I will, and it is celebrated on 4th of Feb, and I Love Sparrow is celebrated on the 20th of March. So why this day is celebrated? It is just to promote the importance of conservation and protection of the sparrows and other such birds. It means it is just to create awareness and to bring attention to the significance and importance of conservation and protection of the sparrows and other such birds. And it is celebrated on the 20th of March 2021. And what is the theme? I love sparrows. So guys, you have to remember this. So you can also see here the theme is I love sparrows, World Sparrow Day, and 20th of March 2021 celebrated. So you can move to the next question, and it is the Ministry of Defense has signed a deal with which company for the acquiring 4960, it means almost 5000 Milan or the Milan 2T anti-tank guided missile for Indian Army. It means it is just to strengthen the Indian Army, because we are focusing on the self-reliant Bharat or the Atmanirbhar Bharat. That's why Indian defense imports are reduced by 33%. This is a huge success of Indian defense system, because the imports of the arms reduced by 33%. It means we are becoming the self-reliant in the defense sector. And this company who is basically giving Milan 2T or Milan 2T anti-tank guided missile to Indian Army is Bharat Dynamics Limited. So you can see here, Defense Ministry seals deal with the Bharat Dynamics Limited to acquire 4690 anti-tank guided missiles. So you can also see here the deal will boost the Make in India or the Self-Reliant Bharat initiative. And Milan 2T have a range of 1850 meter, though that is huge. And they are capable of being fired from the ground as well as vehicle based launcher. It means they can be launched by the individual from the grounds, and they can also launch from the vehicles. And I already covered this point that arms import is decreased by 33%, and it is very good for Make in India initiative. So guys, all things you have to remember. And where is the headquarter of this BDL? Headquarter of this BDL is in Hyderabad, Telangana. So it is not 4690, it is 4960. 4960. So that's why we are taking it 5000. Now we are moving to the next question. ICC banned which cricketer for 8 years for breaching the ICC anti-corruption code? And guys, you have to remember the players belong to which country. So I am giving you hint that these players belong to United Arab Emirates, and this is not one player, they are two players. So it means answer of this question is both A and B, Mohammad Naveed and Shaiman Anwar. So answer of this question is both A and B. And remember, former United Arab Emirates captain Mohammad Naveed and Shaiman Anwar, also a batsman, banned from all form of cricket. They were banned for breaching the ICC anti-corruption code because they were found guilty of corruption relating to attempted match fixing during the 2019 T20 World Cup qualifying tournament. So due to match fixing, they banned for the 8 years, and this ban is basically starting from the back date from the 16th of October 2019, when they were provisionally suspended. So remember, two players, especially the country United Arab Emirates, named is Mohammad Naveed and Shaiman Anwar, or you can just remember the Naveed and Anwar. These two players belong to the United Arab Emirates. So they are banned breaching the ICC anti-corruption code, and they are found guilty for the corruption relating to the attempted of the match fixing in the 2019 T20 World Cup qualifying tournament. Moving to next question. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 4th Global Ayurveda Festival 2021. Who was the chairman of this Global Ayurveda Festival 2021? This is very new question. You have to remember this, because earlier we covered one question that Global Ayurveda Festival 2021 will be hosted by which state? So answer of this question is Kerala, because every year it is hosted by which state? Kerala. So it is the largest Ayurveda festival all over world. And who is the chairman? Chairman of this Global Ayurveda Festival was V. Muralidharan, Minister of State of External Affairs. You can see here, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 4th Global Ayurveda Festival, 12th to 19th March, and it is a virtual conference expo in the Kerala. So which state hosted? It is Kerala, and every year it is hosted by Kerala. So FICCI is the industry partner. Remember, who is the chairman of the FICCI or the president? Uday Shankar. So remember, Uday Shankar is the president. So Global Ayurveda Festival is the largest Ayurvedic event held anywhere across the world. So India is the largest producer of the Ayurvedic medicine. You can also remember this. Chairman of this Global Ayurvedic Festival is V. Muralidharan. He is currently the Union Minister of State of the External Affairs. WHO also proposed the setting up a global center for traditional medicine in India, because Ayurveda is very important, especially for the COVID-19, because you can build your immunity according to the Ayurveda. So it is very important, guys. So you have to remember about the Ayurveda medicines and this ministry Ayush, which is promoting this Ayurveda system, and who is Union Minister of Ayush? That is Shripad Yeso Naik ji. And guys, remember one thing. United Nations also declared 2023 year as a international year of millets. So this you have to remember, international year of millets. It is the 2023 year. So remember this. Now we are moving to next question. What is the theme of 11th edition of India's Camp 2021 in New Delhi? So what is the meaning of this India Camp 2021? It is basically exhibition and conference related to the chemicals and the petrochemicals. And it is organized by Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Who is the Union Minister of Chemical and Fertilizer? It is Sadanand Gowda. So remember, Sadanand Gowda is currently the Union Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers. And what is the theme of this event? And it is hosted in the New Delhi. And main event theme is the India Global Manufacturing Hub for Chemicals and the Petrochemicals. So remember, global hub manufacture for the chemicals and the petrochemicals. So you can see here, Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers, very smiling face of D.V. Sadanand Gowda, inaugurated 11th Biennial International Conference and Expo, and it is again the trading partner is FICCI, and who is the president? I already covered this point, that is Uday Shankar. What is the theme? Global Manufacturing Hub for Chemicals and the Petrochemicals. So you can see here, main theme, objective is to highlight the investment potential in India chemicals and the petrochemical industry, and especially Sadanand Gowda declared that India will invest 8 lakh crore rupees 8 lakh crore rupees by the year of 2025, especially in the chemicals and the petrochemicals. Even you can see here in 2021-22 budget, Indian government allocated so much amount for the chemicals and the petrochemicals. Like in the previous year, 2020-21, if we are comparing with this year, then it is a 7% increase in the investment. Like almost 233.14 crore rupees will be invested in the chemicals and the petrochemicals. So D.V. Sadanand Gowda is the Union Minister of Chemicals, Lok Sabha Member of Parliament, constituencies Bangalore North, Karnataka. And who is the Minister of State? Minister of State is Mansukh Mandavia, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament from Gujarat. Now we are moving to the next section, and is the important question section. And I'm again requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to subscribe this channel, and you have to share as maximum as possible. So here is the first question. ISRO has signed a MOU with which institute to set up a space technology incubation center? So ISRO is basically developing space technology incubation centers, and totally they are establishing 6 space technology incubation sector. Now they opened 4, already 3 was opened, this is the 4th one, and this is opened in the campus of the NIT Rourkela in which state? Odisha. So guys, remember, it is the 4th space technology incubation center. So why they are setting up this space technology incubation center in the NIT universities or the National Institute of Technology centers? Because they just want to inculcate innovation ideas among students in the field of the space technology, so that they can generate the innovative ideas, and especially the interest in the students, especially in the space technology. So ISRO is the process of setting one space technology incubation center in 6 regions, like central, east, north, northeast, south and west. So that's why they are setting up the 6 centers. Already 3 such centers have been inaugurated, like NIT Agartala. Second is the NIT Jalandhar in Punjab, and NIT Trichy. So these 3 centers already opened. Now this is the 4th center, which is inaugurated by ISRO. So ISRO is also providing 2 crore rupees for the NIT Rourkela, so that they can build this infrastructure for this space technology incubation center. And this center will enable startups to build applications and products that could be used in the future space missions. And it is also to innovate ideas among the students in the field of space technologies. They already opened the 3 centers, like NIT Agartala, Jalandhar and the Trichy. But you have to also remember that recently ISRO set up a NETR, that is known as the Network for Space Object Tracking and Analysis, dedicated control center for the space situational awareness, so that all the satellites can be tackled and all the satellites can be tracked, and analysis can be provided through this NETR instrument, which is launched by the ISRO. And ISRO also tied up with the IIT Banaras Hindu University to set up a regional academic center for space at IIT BHU. So ISRO is basically tying up with so many institutions, so that the interest among the students can be increased in the space technology, and startups in the space sector can be increased. So this is the main initiative of the ISRO. So all you have to remember about the ISRO was basically established in 1969. It is founded by the Vikram Sarabhai, as also known as the father of the Indian space program. Headquarters in Bengaluru, Karnataka, and chairman is K. Sivan. Remember, don't confuse with the DRDO. DRDO headquarters is in Delhi, not in Bengaluru. Many students are marking the Bengaluru, but Delhi is the right answer. And who is the head of the DRDO? That is G. Satish Reddy. So don't confuse DRDO and the ISRO. So moving to the one-liner important point, here is our first point, that Moody's Analytics sees India's GDP growth at 12% in 2021. So that is a huge prediction of the Moody's, that is a credit rating agency of the United States of America. They predicted India growth by the 12%, but you have to just remember the 12%. Next, government forms expert advisory committee for startup seed fund scheme chaired by the H.K. Mittal. So the important thing under this question is this Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, that is known as SISFS. It is basically in February 2021, Ministry of Commerce and Industry approved this Startup India Seed Fund Scheme for a period of 4 years, starting from the 2021-22, so that startups can be provided with some funds under this seed fund scheme. And around 36 startups will be provided some funds under this seed fund scheme. And how this will be allocated, and how many entrepreneurs will get this fund, how many startups will get this fund, it will be advised by this committee that is formed by the government under the H.K. Mittal presidentship. So just remember this fund and remember the name of the president of this committee. Next, former Ireland captain Gary Wilson retires from the international cricket. Only two things you have to remember, that Gary Wilson belongs to the cricket and he belongs to the Ireland. Next, World Oral Health Day 2021 celebrated on the March 20th. So just remember the name of the day. So why this day is celebrated? So it is just to promote the importance of oral health and to reduce the problems of oral diseases that affect the individual's health system and the economy. So what is the theme of this day? Be proud of your mouth. Be proud of your mouth. So this is the main theme of this day. Just read this day, otherwise it is not so much important. Next, Labour Bureau signs agreement with the BECIL for conducting All India Survey. So what is the meaning of this BECIL? BECIL stands for the Broadcast Engineering Consultants India Limited, and they are providing the technical and manpower support for conducting All India Survey on the migrant workers. So this survey is for the migrant worker. It is not so much important. Just remember it is Labour Bureau. Next, Power Grid acquired the outstanding 74% stake in JPVL from the JP Power Grid. So the company itself is important. That is known as the Power Grid. So already Power Grid has 26% share in this JPVL, that is Jayaprakash Power Ventures, but they are now again acquiring 74% stake. It means they will get 100% stake. It means this JVPL become the fully owned subsidiary of the Power Grid. Just remember the name of this JVPL. This means Jayaprakash Power Ventures. Jayaprakash Power Ventures. And what about Power Grid? Power Grid headquarters is in Gurgaon. And who is the chairman and managing director? K. Shrikant. Now we can move to the question of the day. Question of the day of 20th of March 2021 was, which of the following periodical is not correctly matched with its editor? So we can evaluate this question. Like Bande Mataram is Aurobindo Ghosh as right. New India is by the Bipin Chandra Paul. Yes, it is also encouraged by the Annie Besant. Yughantar by the Bhupender Nath Datta, very much right. After that, Gandhiji edited this Yughantar newspaper. Next is the Sandhya. Sandhya is not by the Birinder Ghosh. This newspaper, like Sandhya periodical, was founded by B.B. Upadhyay. So remember, it is founded by B.B. Upadhyay. So it was not founded by Birinder Ghosh. So examiner was asking not correctly matched, so answer should be D. D is the right answer, guys. So now we are moving to the question of the day. Very simple question. What is the product formed when sodium bicarbonate is heated strongly? So guys, remember NaHCO3 when heated strongly, then what is the byproduct? So you have to answer only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. So guys, please provide 700 plus likes if you like this video, and please press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, remember you can download download this application Careers Cloud from the description box. We put a link in the description box, and the prices are very much low. For 1 year subscription as well as 2 year subscription, you can get the extra 10% discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. Definitely, if you are watching the videos regularly and if you are reading the current affairs from the PDF, your current affairs section will go strong, definitely. And guys, 90 to 95% current affair which are coming in your exams are covered by Affairs Cloud. This is the genuinity of Affairs Cloud. This is the hard work of our team. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As I am always saying that don't take life so much serious. Life is fun, life is beautiful. Always be happy. Happiness is the key of success, and your exam will clear definitely. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.